Vijay. I'm an avid learner and ardent follower of agility, agile, Scrum, and different things. So it's not like I saw people doing it and then I followed them. But I was into a situation way back in 2005. We were into a situation wherein the project was not really going well. And I was a project manager. So in those cases, scenario, one of the systems manager in my company came to me and I was discussing the problems of how the project is actually going on. And then he showed me a booklet of about 120 pages and he showed me that, hey, read this and I think it would help you. He was like recently came from US, back from US, and he implemented something called a Scrum there. And then I started reading it and it started interesting me. And I started implementing it in my project piece by piece by piece. And it started helping me. Okay. And then this word called servant leadership, I mean, it helped me a lot. It teased me a lot. It made me sweat out. So I learned it by hard time. And that's why we felt, me and Rahul felt that why don't we speak about this particular term called servant leadership to all the people. I would go into a lot of details of who am I. So I'm an amateur marathoner. I also run 42-kilometer marathon and a photographer, amateur. And side business is I'm an agile coach, I'm a trainer, and I help people. I started a group called Agile Practitioners Group of India, APGI, way back in almost 6 years back. I started a foundation called Greencubator, so wherein we help people incubate new ideas and help green, and also afforestation. So that would help the new generation. I'm also founder of AgileWaters Consulting. Apart from that, I would like to go to my co-facilitator, Rahul. Rahul, it's over to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rahul Shah and working as an agile coach and trainer. I have 20 plus years of experience. And yeah, last week only I was discussing with someone that why do I love Scrum? And then the answers which came out was, yeah, it's very simple. We are very clear why we are people, then change something. So that's why I love Agile and Scrum. And I'm also a skilled Agile program consultant and some other certifications. On personal side, yeah, I like chess, solving puzzle, and Sanskrit. I'm learning Sanskrit as well right now through Sanskrit Bharati and IIT Roorkee course. So yeah, that's a bit about me. You can connect me anytime on the LinkedIn as well.
So
Yep.
understand what servant leadership. Let's go a little deep dive. Deep dive in the sense, understand the aspects of it, not the macro level of it. So what servant leadership is not, it doesn't happen this way. Like you read a book, 7 habits of effective people, 21 habits of most effective people. I don't know if there is a book written on 7 habits of a best Scrum Master. Maybe we would like to write it someday. So it doesn't really happen that way. So it's, as we say that Scrum is easy to understand, difficult to master. Scrum Master is really easy to understand, very, very, very difficult to master, because the way Scrum Master operates is not by power. It's really different. So before we go into this particular session, there are 2 words very, very important that we need to understand. What is leadership and who are followers? Okay, I hope you can see my screen and listen me really well. Rahul, am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly fine. We can see your screen as well.
Perfect. Okay. So what is leadership? This is leadership. I hope you can read that. I'm not able to stop my screen like this. So this is the basics. What is leadership? Leadership is by process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. So common goal is very, very important here. If you do not have a common goal, you may not find a leader, or you may not find a leader who is useful. This is applicable everywhere. Who are all the followers? Followers are those individuals who volunteer to engage in a leadership process by partnering with the leaders and the followers for the purpose of achieving a common vision. So in both the cases, you are understanding here is the common is commonality of a goal. That is very, very important here. I'm asking a question to all of you. You may not, have seen them before. So let me name them. One is Adolf Hitler, one is Mussolini, Nelson Mandela, Gandhiji. Most of the people across the world call Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Gautam Buddha, and Shivaji. May not be known to all the people. The question is, are they leaders? Question to all of you, are they leaders?
My question is, how come we can call Chhatrapati Shivaji as a leader?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Are they leaders?
No, Chhatrapati Shivaji is not a leader. And Gautam Buddha is not a leader. He's a followers, actually. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Mother Teresa also, same.
They are not leaders, right?
Yep.
That's what you say. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Any other here?
Vijay, as far as I know, Mother Teresa is a servant leader.
Okay. The very basic question is, are they leaders? I'm not saying servant leaders or what leaders. Yeah, are they leaders? So
yes,
all of them
I can say the Buddha is the leader.
For
Hey
me,
Vijay, this said, I guess these people have defined the route, and others actually like the route and they follow them, and that's the big. They become the leader.
Yes, they are the leaders.
Yeah. So somebody leads us. Yes. The leaders. Every one of them is a leader. However, what kind of leader? Not they're okay. If I go, maybe put into some kind of group, I may not be correct here, but there are two people who ruled. There are few people who served people. Okay, and there are. I may be wrong, but I have generalized it. So on the right side, there are most people who served people and earned the leadership. They never asked really for power. They never really asked people to call themselves as leaders. But how were they leading? They were setting an example for other people, and other people were getting motivated and following them, and then started behaving sometimes. So people who serve first. So, right?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so what one word comes to your mind when you see this candle? Anybody from?
Vijay, it's a burning and giving light.
It's burning. One word. Okay, what else? One word, please. One characteristics.
Sacrificing.
Sacrifice. Okay, good. What else?
Lightning to maybe it could be anything like in someone's lives, or maybe that eradicate that the darkness and all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
Torchbearer.
Someone speaking?
Torchbearer.
Torchbearer.
Torchbearer. Okay, good. What
Someone
else?
is saying, Nawaz is saying hope. Azhar is saying not permanent. There's a hope in this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not permanent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Similarity from me, I would
Okay.
say.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, I'm saying similarities. That is the one word.
Okay. Okay. So what I see is what is selflessness comes to my mind. Yeah. Selflessness when this candle burns. So when we use this candle, when there is dark, and candle gives you light when there is darkness. So selflessness is the key. Candle burns to give you light. Similarly, a Scrum Master is a servant leader. So what is servant leadership? According to Greenleaf, Robert Greenleaf has a foundation for Scrum servant leadership. So this is the first time somebody coined a term, and the person is called as Robert Greenleaf. So what he says, servant leadership is a philosophy, okay, and a set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, build better organization, and ultimately creates a more just and caring world. So what is servant leadership in his own words is servant first. You are a servant first. You serve like Mother Teresa, like Gandhi, like Nelson Mandela, and you may come out with many people. So you serve first by virtue of people liking you serve. They follow you. So serving continuously brings you leadership. Leadership is by serving. Leadership is not willing. Okay. So few ingredients of servant leadership. What is the difference between your leadership, you as a Scrum Master, and a servant leader? You are a person maybe appointed by an organization. They want you to become a servant leader, and that's the typical difference. But what is typical?
हम थोड़ी देर में आएंगे.
Okay, Rahul,
क्यों?
host. Yeah, okay. So few ingredients of servant leadership that I'm going to discuss is the natural desire. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. However, there might be a differences when you are in organizational structure, organizational setup. Your natural desire is to become a leader, is to become, lead people. You to become a team lead, is to become, go to next level. So that is not a servant leadership. Servant leadership is there should be a natural desire to serve. That might not come in a day. Another thing is a conscious choice. It is your conscious choice to serve people. And it's not by design of the role. That role demands you to serve. What else? It's the best test. The best test is to administer and check whom you have served and who has become a leader. So you need to check how many people you have made the leader. And that's how you would be defined as a servant leader. Any questions here or any understanding that you want from us? Three basic needs of or ingredients of servant leadership. The natural desire to serve, and it is a conscious choice. And what is the best test? The best test of a Scrum Master is how many more leaders you have produced in your organization, in your team. That's the best test. Okay. We must be the change we wish to see in the world. So what are those changes that we're asking for? That's what Gandhiji used to say. So what these set an example. He wanted all the Indians under the Britishers' rule to follow one regime. What is that regime? What was that regime? Looking at this particular picture, what was that regime that we call upon?
Ahimsa.
Era. Regime means we can say the era. Time.
Non-violence.
No. Okay, very good. Non-violence was the key. What else? Looking at this picture, he's actually following the Indian dress code. He made an Indian dress code and he wanted others to follow. So he started following. He, in fact, started making those dresses himself so that people should throw away the machine made or the British made clothes or imported clothes so that people can, follow that. So Gandhiji started following this practice and people followed because
Yes.
people felt that it makes sense. Now,
That's a
this is what
Swadeshi
we,
movement.
Swadeshi
Yeah,
movement. Yeah, very
yeah,
good. Thank
Kedar,
you so
yeah.
much. So, yeah, very good. So now, what we, as the modern Gandhi of a Scrum team, as a Scrum, what we want to see in the world. So, can you tell me in Scrum, there are 5 values that we want to see in our teams. What are those?
Respect,
Respect.
Courage.
Very good.
focus.
What do you mean by respect? Respect. What do you mean by respect?
Like one should respect each other so that the change that we want to bring can be achieved.
Okay. So respect individuals, respect their opinion,
Openness.
their time, respect
And-
their skills, respect their mistakes. Yes, Girish, you were saying something?
And respect agile values and principles.
Yes, respect agile values and principles. Whatever you are going to follow, respect that. Thank you so much for bringing in that. What is the other value?
Openness.
Openness. Very good.
Courage.
So, what do you mean? What do you mean by openness?
If they have done any mistakes or anything, they should able to, in front of everybody, they should accept their mistakes, or they should able to tell to the team. And then they have any challenges or impediments, whatever it may be. Okay, they should able to, in front of everybody, they should inform to the team.
Being
Very
more
good.
transparent.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, being transparent, like suggesting somebody that if you take this approach and this job will be get sooner and maybe better way. That kind of the openness we should have in the team.
Okay.
Very good. That
And next one,
Transparency.
second one.
and then focus.
Trans. Okay. Focus.
Courage.
So what is the focus? What is the focus that we want in
Okay.
Scrum teams?
During the sprint planning, whenever we are doing that, the name should be in what we are working, what is our deliverables. They should be focused on within the sprint. Okay. So that's what, in the simple word, I can say that what they are going to work. Okay.
Maybe
Whatever
achieve
goal
that
we
common
have.
goal.
Yeah.
Common goal. Okay. We should focus on that. Everything else is West. Very good. What is another value? The 4th one.
Courage.
Courage.
It's courage.
Very good. Courage. Now, what do you expect from courage from team?
Courage to experiment, try out new things.
Wonderful.
Very good.
I can say
Wonderful.
that wherever it's needed, we need to inspect and adopt the technique. It's kind of you should have a guts to do that. I can say that.
Very-
Courage
Yes.
to
What?
accept others' opinions,
Hmm?
Courage
and courage to
to
accept our mistakes.
Yes.
Sometimes,
courage to
Very good.
sometimes courage to say no.
Yes.
courage to
Very important.
challenge. Courage to challenge status quo. Courage to say that this won't be done. We see some risk. Highlight the risk.
Yes. And the last value is
Commitment.
commitment. Very good. What do we expect from commitment?
We have committed to deliver something, we should be sticking to it and making it sure that we deliver on what we have.
Basically, taking ownership of any task that we have committed and make sure that we achieve that goal.
Yeah. So whenever you commit something and you are not able to deliver, what happens? It shows on your face, shows in your emotions, shows in your wordings, right? So that's the commitment. You focus on your commitment and you do anything that is required to do to deliver that. So that's the commitment. 5 different values. Now I would like to ask you, Scrum Masters, if you are in here, what do you do to encourage courage in your team? How do you encourage courage in your team?
I think Vijay, from my understanding, I think we need to build a trust.
Actually, in my past experience, what I have done is we have committed 35 story points actually. Okay, so as a Scrum Master, I motivate the team and I made it 45 story points. Actually, we achieved it. So we committed and we delivered it.
Um,
I have a quick question. If for
Yes.
this gentleman, Vijay, this is Joel. So why is it always we measure our progress by story points? Team will deliver the story points to 35 to 45, but they're working more than 60 hours a week. Anyone is considering that? How would the team go from 35 to 45 story point in one sprint? I mean, something has to give out, right? It all sounds good. Oh, we are delivering 45, 50, 60. I've seen this model working in offshore, onshore. Offshore is going to do anything the onshore wants because they want the contracts, they want the bidding. So is that the right thing to showcase oh, I've done 45 or 55 story points?
And also, I would like to comment. So, as a Scrum Master, we should not increase from 35 to 45. The team should decide.
It's not
Yeah,
like
on the other hand, that's a very good point, sir. On the other hand, I think team I've very seldomly seen the team excitedly work and improve the what to say the deliverable points. Sometimes it definitely happens because it happens. I think at least after a year and a half, or at least a year, where team really know inside out of the system. That is really not a performing team. That is a totally different ball game. But I just have some hesitation to say that suddenly you deliver 45 story point. That means you have improved everything.
well, that's what I want to say actually. Okay, it's not happened overnight actually, the change. Okay, so the change happened nearly it takes 5 to 6 sprints later, we came into that level actually. Okay.
So
Yeah,
It's a 20% increase, right? That's pretty good if your team is that 25% increase.
Yeah.
Can I share a story on this
So-
one about being a Scrum Master and Agile coach, and then it's related to this one about the story points and other stuff. So we were working for a critical project, and our team's velocity was around 30, 35 and other stuff. And then because we wanted to release before December, before the furlough and other stuff, so that we also say that, okay, we delivered in this particular year and another one. And then we certainly wanted to deliver more, but obviously it's, as many of you mentioned, that it depends on the team, right? So we asked some questions to them that, okay, our velocity is X. Can we increase our velocity by 15% next sprint? And then, yeah, it's talking about the next sprint. In one sprint, say 15 to 20%. What has to happen so that we achieve to that velocity? And I talked to individual team members, and then they talked about, okay, if this will be fixed, or if this is achieved, or if we change this way, probably kind of a retrospective, but I specifically highlighted that, okay, I want to increase the velocity in the next sprint by 15%. What has to happen? What are the changes which should go into this one? So I got the list of points. And then if as a Scrum Master or as an Agile coach, I can complete most of them, then probably there are high chances, high probability that the team will be able to complete more story points. But obviously those points also will be something like you won't be able to complete in one sprint. But this was the one of the way that, okay, as a Scrum Master and Agile coach, I was not enforcing them that you must do this one, but you tell me that what we should do, what are the impediments we should remove so that our goal, which is about increasing the velocity by 15%, can be achieved. And we got very good points. I'm not saying that we were able to achieve 15-20%, but yeah, certainly more than what we had achieved in the previous sprint. So mix of both.
So what you are saying is, so what
Rahul,
you're saying is team fails, right?
yeah, team. Yeah, Girish.
yeah, Rahul, I have different opinion. See, actually, the velocity we should not supposed to increase. Velocity should be sustainable. We should maintain constant velocity. That indicates our team is doing good. So at any given point of time, we should not supposed to increase the velocity.
Good point. I think we will discuss later if we get some time, and then probably at the end of the session,
Sure.
let's discuss.
See, that is what our even Agile principle also says. See, today for 30 point of story points, if the team is estimated, for the next sprint, for the same 30 points, because of their experience, they should quote less story point for the same work, so that the more value will be delivered rather than more velocity. That is the point.
Yes, yeah, we can discuss, Girish. I'm 100% agreeing to what you are saying, but it needs some more time. Let Vijay complete, and then we will move on.
However, there is one aspect is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement.
Yes,
as long
Vijay.
as that is taken care,
Vijay,
as long
so
as taken
the
care,
continuous improvement in terms of value, not in terms of velocity.
Yeah, but I have a point here. Like, we should be focusing on the end product, like the customer, making customer happy, or producing a product which is actually time to market. So actually our focus is not on only increasing the velocity, but if that requires whatever focus on the end product we have or the customer relationship, if that requires, then there is nothing wrong in achieving that.
See, actually, Raja here, just to add one thing. Yeah, see, the thing is, if the team will be will be motivating them just to increase the velocity, that number need to increase. Okay, so you cannot control like the team, they can give higher number and they can increase instead of increasing the velocity in number. If we can just increase the how much business value we are delivering. Okay, so that is
what my point. Yes,
that is be more worthful. We will be having the control and we'll be having the measurement of that. Okay, the velocity we cannot measure. We cannot ask them whether that between 5 and 8, we cannot challenge them whether it's 5 pointer or whether it's 8 pointer, because the team is giving, they have the mutual understanding and they can give 5 to 8 and they can just increase their velocity in numbers.
Yes. Say, just as a layman terms, if I tell, let us assume I am a driver. In 30 minutes, I will cover 30 kilometers. Next time, in the same 30 minutes, I should cover 35 kilometers. So that is the value.
Correct. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah.
So very good. I mean, I like this debate. However, I'm trying to make a point here. See, continuous improvement is very, very important. I am saying respect your team's thoughts, opinions, what they say, rather than you telling them that we should improve the velocity. You should ask a question. Hi team, you have done a very, very great job. Now, how do we go ahead from here? How do we improve next? And let the team suggest. They might come out with velocity. Okay, very good. They might come out with a value statement. Very good. They might come out with an internal quality or the quality of the product. So there are different aspects. So I'm not saying that velocity is the only term. There are multiple facets of the product. Sometimes team might say that reduce the velocity to 0 in next 2 sprint and focus on refactoring, if that makes sense. So it is very, very subjective to the situation. And hence I'm saying that maybe I'm not going ahead only with velocity increase or something. I'm saying as long as continuous improvement on the value perspective, maybe from the customer value, maybe from the product value, maybe from the quality value, whatever value it comes out to be, think on that aspect, and it might be very specific to your organization and situation. So act accordingly. You will act as a servant leader. So I was asking you, how do you encourage courage? Is if a kid falls down or your kid falls down and you go ahead, oh, what happened? Did it hurt you? What will happen? The kid will sometimes start crying. Or sometimes will say, no, it didn't hurt me. So those emotions, that what it comes with your own engagement in the given situation, that you must know what happened. So how do you encourage courage in the small kid? Is by neglecting it. Oh, you did it. You fell down. Okay, absolutely okay. So sometimes even negligence can increase courage. So think about how you behave and what is the impact on the situation. So it's not always that appreciating, oh, you fell down, very good. It may not bring in courage all the time. So think, it's very, very specific. How do you showcase commitment to other people so that people can follow? Oh, yes, Rahul is the Scrum Master. He's so committed to what he says. I must commit. I should follow. I must not. Maybe let's follow. Okay. He shows courage. He goes and fight with the management sometimes if they are in order to protect us. Oh, that's good. Sometimes the openness. So Rahul is so open. Rahul says, I committed this, but I couldn't do it because there was a party at my place. I was not well, or maybe, I was not in mood to do certain things, or maybe their skills were not there in myself, so that I had to look for so many things. So see that openness, see that courage, see that commitment. So what is committed? I'm committed to do my work. However, my courage is I'm telling you that I couldn't do certain things. I'm really open to share with you all. And that's the attitude that people are looking at. People are not looking at Scrum Master as a superhero. That's a misnomer. That's the wrong concept. You are not a superhero. You are a servant leader. You are a human being who can make mistakes. However, you are committed. You are focused, open to share what has happened to you. Okay. You can also fail. You have respect for people as well as yourself. If you respect yourself, people will respect you. So these are the aspects of servant leadership. So have your opinion and respect others. You must have your opinion. You cannot be an opinionless person. If you are an opinionless person, people may find it difficult to adjust, to digest. You might have your own opinion. However, yes, I have my opinion, but I also respect your opinion. So give time to others and let them share their own opinion. And you say, yeah, okay, I do not agree to you right now because I'm not convinced, or maybe I have not inculcated in myself that it works, and hence I will try. Yeah. Can anyone give an example that you have an opinion, others also have an opinion, you don't really agree to it, but you still would like to go ahead? Are there any situation that has come to you, that has occurred to you?
Yeah.
Like we were having one opinion. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Vijay,
Rahul.
I would like to share on this one. This is in my early years, I learned this one. That we discussed which approach we should be taking for implementation, and then we had a heated debate that which one we should go for, and they said, no, this is the best way to go. And then because of their experience and opinion, so this is the way we would like to implement. Now we cannot implement both ways, right? This is only one approach, whatever the technical approach, and then we will come to know, or as a matter of fact, I will come to know that, okay, whether my opinion or my experience, and then saying that this is the way we should implement, we don't know. We'll have to wait till it is implemented and then verified. The point here I would like to highlight is at the end at the end of the debate, we had to conclude, and then everybody has to work together, right? If I say that, okay, let's go with your opinion, whatever you are saying, we will go ahead, but then I won't participate. That's not going to yield any result, right? So we decided, okay, even if I disagree, but we commit, because at the end the project success matters, right? I respect you. My opinion, I had something. Now whatever we decide, but we had to start with something, and wholeheartedly we had to work together and then complete this one. So it's immaterial whether I believe, whether I agree to that or not, but I respect, and whenever whatever decision we as a whole team took, then we said, okay, let's commit to that and complete it.
Very good. So in technical language, we generally call it as prototype. If you have two options, research. Okay. So in such a cases, what is the tool for the Scrum Master? Hey, let's try. And what works best? Okay, and then move on. So in the dictionary of a Scrum Master, let's move on is the key. Let's move on. Do not stop. Let's move on. Yeah. Listen and understand. She is Jane Goodall. She's very famous across the world, especially in the philanthropy and understanding animals and their emotions. So Jane Goodall, someday there was chimpanzees. She was not able to understand how they actually, what are they asking for? So she spent years and years with chimpanzees and tried to understand their language, how they speak. Today, Jane Goodall can understand almost hundreds of emotions of a chimpanzee, what a chimpanzee is asking. So listening is the key. Now, the moment she gives a direction to an unknown chimpanzee also, unknown chimpanzee would follow. So that's the key. Listening is the key. So what is your listening power? Listening is not just 2 words. Listening the visuals, listening the smell, listening the environment, listening the crowd, listening the overall understanding. So listening is the key. Smell is also a listening factor. Okay, you need to understand and have these factors in you. Have a dialogue. So firstly, listen, and then you have a dialogue. So what she says, change happens by listening, then starting dialogue with the people who are doing something you don't believe is right. So you can go to Google and understand about Jane Goodall, what she is doing. She's from UK, and that would give you a lot of aspects of listening. Show empathy. Lead helping hands. These are the keys. Have empathy. What is the difference between sympathy and empathy here? I mean, people must be knowing the difference between sympathy and empathy.
Empathy is understanding others' pain.
Yes.
Sympathy is like showing pity.
Yes.
Or sympathy, it's like, sorrow kind of thing, right? And empathy, we can say, like, that put yourself in their side, or put yourself in their shoes, basically.
Feeling the pain.
See and feel.
Exactly. See, understanding the pain and feeling the pain is different. Like Rahul comes to me, and Girish is the manager for both of us. And then Rahul comes kind of, dejected, and he says, manager sucks, man. And I say, hey, Rahul, oh, really? What happened? Oh, that manager, oh, I also felt the same thing. I was going to this, and we started sharing the same pain. Okay, so I am putting myself in his shoes. Rather, in order to empathize, what would I ask? Hey, Rahul, what has happened to you? Okay, yeah, this has happened. So what do you feel? I understand you must be feeling really bad now. Isn't it? What is your emotion? Okay, yeah. So what is your loss? Can you come out of it? I feel you can come out of it. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm empathizing. I'm understanding what is this. I'm encouraging him. Yes, you can come out of it, but I respect what he's actually going through. However, what I'm not doing is I'm not demeaning the manager, because manager may be right sometimes. So you need to respect the situations and the person that they have actually gone through. So that's how is. So this is what is the key. Have a bigger goal, implement piece by piece. Revolution does not happen in a day. Rahul has already shared in his earlier session the case about theory of marginal gains. The British cycling team who has never won any France de Tour. And a coach came and he started looking at small things right from the pillow the cyclists use for sleeping at night, the mattresses that they are using, even the cycle tire, the amount of air in it, every day increasing or decreasing it by 1% and seeing their performance and monitoring it. So theory of marginal gains, it doesn't really happen in a day. It just happens by 1% improvement. So if you are today a person of certain grade or certain level, if you want to improve daily by 1%, or if you want to decline by 1%, what would happen? Let's see. After 100 days, you would be, if you want to decline, you would be at the level of 0.03. However, if you want to increase 1% every day, you would be 37%, 37 times better than today. So that's what is marginal gain. So just think of one change, one small change in a day. The next thing is be persuasive. You don't, things won't come to you in a day. Things won't change in a day. So you have to persuade for a long time. This is the key for Scrum Masters. Build community. No servant leader in this world has happened or become successful without forming a community. You can see certain examples here. Now, open question to all of you. Who has built a community here? Just raise your hand. You can raise your hand here itself by showing it. There's a raise hand tool, or you can do it in chat. Just share. You have built a community. Not saying built the community of Scrum Masters. You might have built a community inside your organization for something, even for doing some philanthropic work, even built a community of runners, even built a community to raise your voice against wrongdoings inside your state or anywhere, built a community to spread sportiness in your organization, anything, any kind of community. You need to build a community because that would test your servant leadership skills. Communities cannot be built by the rulers. I'm saying the community which are self-sustainable communities, which are good for self as well as the team, as well as the organization, as well as the society. That's really, really important. So is anybody saying that I have raised a community, I have started a community, it's really growing well? I started a community, APG, Agile Practitioners Group of India, almost 6 years back. And it's so strong that it's gone into other countries now. So it is not that I say, I got some like-minded people, we started a community. What was the motive? Motive was to help people free of cost. Understanding agility, helping organization understanding agility, training them free of cost. And that people started believing it and people started following us. And that has become a very, very big community now. That is, recognized by Scrum Alliance and people know about it. Bigger people like Jeff Lopez and all, they keep asking us, when are you having your conference? When are you having meetup? That's what we would like to come and help you. So that's what is the power of community. And then you get accepted as a leader. Sometimes you will also have to be a steward. Sometimes there would be a tough situation. People, especially in India who follow cricket, may understand this particular picture, but people outside may not understand. So there might be certain times the tough situations. So like you would like to be a steward, you would like to be a little tough. When would it happen that you would become a steward or a tough? What is that situation? Can anyone tell me?
When the ethics of Agile and Scrum, if it is getting diluted.
Thank you so much. Girish, it's worth million. You need to put your shoes down, put your foot down. One of the example that's basically from India actually. Gandhi never used to like Tilak, was another freedom fighter in India. Okay, never used to like, because on the opinion they were absolutely different. They never used to make with each other. However, once Britishers called for clearing out one policy, and they just called Gandhiji, and Gandhi went to Delhi with Britishers and he asked, "Where is Tilak?" And the Lord said, "We know you don't go well with Tilak, and hence we didn't call Tilak. We felt that you are good." He said, "I am not gonna work here and I'm not gonna stamp this policy because I believe Tilak might come out with a difference of opinion." So these are the ethics that he had. He said, "No, I'm not gonna work here in this particular environment. I want Tilak." Yes, as Girish said, whenever ethics are not being taken care of, going against the Scrum values, then you need to be a steward sometimes. Yeah, you need to think ahead. You need to be aware of the situation. How can you bring agility in an organization or Scrum Master? So this is how the organization works. Scrum, the organization, there is one leader and then there's team. So this is a typical hierarchy. The first thing is to make it a little flat. And then the next thing you must do is go out of this. So the organization and the team, organization has certain goal, team can achieve it, you go out of that. So you're not in that chain. Whenever you need my help, I am there. Yeah, so we have discussed so many aspects. I would like to go to people. We are just around 3-4 minutes now. What are the impediments for servant leadership? We have understood so many things about servant leadership. What are the key impediments for servant leadership? Anybody in chat, talk, discussions?
Yeah, it could be like anything, impediments, like, the technical related things, your internal something, or maybe, this could be anything, like, I can give you an example in my project. Okay, one of my senior team member, okay, so he is always disturbed by calling my senior leadership to take the interviews and all. Okay, so he was a bit hesitant to talk to the manager. Okay, so he just came to me that he is facing these kinds of issues. Okay, I went back to my senior leadership, talk to them. Why not you create an interview resource pool kind of thing? Okay, it will help you as well as my team. And so this is one kind of impediment I have faced in my team. And
good. And
Thanks, Rishi.
sometimes the management interference.
The other biggest challenge, Vijay, people mindset. Hesitant, reluctant to join the Scrum calls, stand-up calls. So like they have the fixed traditional mindset. I have to do this way. It's a big challenge. I'm seeing that now.
And some people, they may exhibit reluctant to change the culture.
They thought Scrum Masters are doing micromanagement.
Okay. Scrum Master doing micromanagement, yes.
And sometimes the Scrum Master's ego itself is the impediment.
Thank you so much. With that, I'm going to my next slide. I see only one reason for Scrum servant leadership or a Scrum Master failure is wrong choice. Wrong choice of the profession. If you do not have the right mindset, if you do not have courage to fight in the given situation, because what are the basic values? Courage, commitment, focus, whatever happens, you will not give up. You will not complain about it. You will try different things. If you cannot do it alone, you will build a community. Sometimes there's not one way that you will get the solution. There might be multiple different solutions that people can give you. So what you cannot do, you have to do it with the community. So if you do not understand this role, if you do not understand servant leadership, that's a wrong choice. wrong choice of options, wrong choice of profession, wrong choice of the knowledge, wrong choice of the set of the people, wrong choice of your attitudes towards the situation. And I've seen in all my coaching years into different organizations, multiple people. I can quote one example wherein I was coaching enterprise coach in Bank of New York Mellon. And then there were two ladies who came to me who were in my trainings, and they say, Vijay, can I become a Scrum Master? So I said, you cannot ask me that question, right? It's the question to you yourself. I told you what a servant leader is, what a Scrum Master is. Can you do that? Do you have ability? Do you have courage to do that? Said, but we are not technical. I'm from HR and the other lady was from procurement. I went to the head of the department and asked, these two ladies are real genuine ladies. They want to do it. Would you like, do you have courage to give choice to them? It took a little while, but it happened. And today they are some of the best Scrum Masters in that organization. So it is the choice that you make. If you are the person that is, I told you, it's not by design that you operate in servant leadership. It's by the mentality that you are, the way you operate. So there are so many things. Can you become a servant leader? Yes. Even if you are not, yes, it happens. It will take a little while, but you will have to build a community, understand it, feel it. So my key to Scrum Masters, if you want to really become a servant leader, is rate yourself daily on 5 factors. What are those 5 factors? What is your openness quotient? You can give values from 1 to 10. What was my openness quotient yesterday? 1 to 10. You can say highest level of openness, lowest level of openness. What is the highest level of courage in your organization? What is the highest level of courage you can show? People, please. What is the highest level of courage that you can show in your organization? The highest level of courage that you can show is the truth that can take away your job. What is the lowest that you know? Okay. What is the highest level of commitment that you can show? There are many options. What is the highest level of focus that you can show? Whatever happens, I will make sure that this particular team becomes self-organized. I am committed to make at least one of you the person who understands Scrum really well, and the greatest, even you take my place as a Scrum Master, or you become the greatest technical leader in this particular community. I will produce at least 2 Scrum Masters. There are multiple things. So rate yourself every day. If not every day looks very, very difficult to you. Make it every week. I can also help you make your own scale. I used to mark myself on those scales of 1 to 10. Yeah, I even mark myself as a trainer or as a coach that where am I? And that shows me a mirror kind of, So that's, if you want to become a Scrum servant leader, literally, these 5 to 6 that you will have to rate yourself every day. And what is that stopped you from becoming 10 or 9 or even 8? So you can have goal for yourself, maybe by 6 months or something like that. I would like to reach on 5. I would like to reach on 6. Okay. Discuss with your fellow individuals that this is what I did. This is what do you feel about my openness? What do you feel about my courage? What do you feel about my servant leadership skills? And that's how it would work. Yeah. Any closing questions? Yeah.
Before we close, if I might be permitted to give my 2 bits, it's just general for everybody. What I have learned in my experience, and of course, Vijay and Rahul and all are far, far more experienced than I am, but in just trying to put everything into a nutshell. The first thing I would like to say is if you want to be a successful Scrum Master, then you have to be a people person. If you're not a people person, you can't be a good Scrum Master. Being a people person means knowing your team, engaging with them, knowing each and every individual on your team. When you say knowing each and every individual doesn't mean only knowing their names or knowing their, but engaging with them, coming to know what are their problems. Because sometimes there are problems which they will not speak about. Sometimes there are problems which somebody has fought with his girlfriend last night and he's not performing well today because that is the reason. That's just one example. The second thing what I would like to say as far as the servant leadership role goes, and what I have understood, is if I am a good Scrum Master, I have to be a fantastic servant. If I am a good servant, the team will make me their leader. I don't have to become their leader. They will make me the leader. If I have served them well, if they feel that, yes, this is a Scrum Master who looks after us, this is a Scrum Master who believes in us, this is a Scrum Master who is concerned about us, he's concerned about what we are doing and how we are doing it. And, that Scrum Master has that interest in us. Because in their experience, none of the senior guys has ever thought about that. None of their senior guys has ever thought about what is their problem, where they are stuck, where they are having some issue. So I think it's very important for the Scrum Master to have that engagement with the team, to have that. Essentially, end of the day, it's about confidence, faith, and trust. Can you build up that confidence, faith, and trust in your team? Where each member of your team has that confidence, faith, and trust. Yeah, this is my Scrum Master, he's for me. He's whatever he's doing, he's fighting for me. When that entire team has that confidence, faith, and trust, you're the leader. They will make you the leader. Like I said, if you are a good servant, they will make you the leader. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry if I interjected.
And Kalekar, one more point I would like to add. Very valuable points, whatever you've given. And apart from that, the Scrum Master should be impartial.
Of course.
Yeah.
The question of partiality doesn't even arise. If you are going to be a good servant, you can't be partial.
Yes.
You absolutely can't be partial. You see that picture which Vijay has just put up. It shows Mahatma Gandhi with that spinning wheel. Can you see that picture?
Yes.
You can. You know what the spinning wheel represents? It's the wheel of life.
Yeah.
The spinning leaf is not just a spinning leaf, it's the wheel of life. Yeah. And your team is your wheel of life. If you cannot live for your team, why do you expect the team to live for you?
Yes.
Like I said, if you are not a good servant, you're not a good Scrum Master. And if you are a good servant, they will make you the leader.
Definitely. Yeah.
You don't have to say, I'm the leader. They will say, no, you are my leader.
Rightly said.
One of the good quality. In this room, I do not know all of you, but Sid is most experienced than me and Rahul.
Please.
However, see the humbleness.
Yeah.
See the humbleness. See the humbleness, what he's saying. He's just listening throughout the session. He's more experienced. I mean, he left India how many years back? 30, 40 years back? I don't know. and he's one of the known personality in agility in Europe. But still, see the humbleness. That's the quality of a good leader. You don't have to showcase it; it just comes out. We call upon his name, and thanks to him, he has agreed to do one session with us